the way we can do that?
I mean,
Let's
that
try
lady
it.
knows how to get into the
Let's do that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, a poster on the door, right,
Yeah.
yeah, or put it on the website or Facebook post.
And then if you're not gonna have to come get it approved every time, you could just bring a flyer
I will.
before
You can do
everybody,
one.
and then I'll make sure it gets approved.
Thank you.
Okay,
Just
that would be great.
hyperlink the flyer from the main page too, you can hyperlink a picture. You scan it in and hyperlink the
You
PDF.
might have to show me between Facebook.
Yeah.
And if you have interaction with somebody that you know is a veteran paying their bill, let them know what's coming.
That's a good
Yeah.
idea.
That'll help them. Good. Well, thank you. Do we have any old business? Old business. New business. Town charter discussion is on the agenda, and we are going to table it at this time.
Yeah, Attorney Moen, when I was texting with him today, said it might be prudent to wait a month on that one. He wants to prepare a whole presentation to provide, and he can't do that with such short notice. He just realized it was on the agenda today and is just not ready for that. So he wants to have a discussion and he wants to explain it to you guys, he's
Okay.
just, would rather we table it till July.
Do we need to make a motion to table?
If you would, please, that would be good.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to table the town charter discussion till the next meeting in August,
July one.
or, I'm sorry, July.
July, yep.
I was like, wow.
Jeez, my calculator is going fast as a house.
Do we have a second? We have a motion and a second to table the town charter discussion till July. All in favor?
Aye.
Personnel policy.
That's something I asked to be on here. Your guys' personnel policy is a little dated. For one example is it's required by the clerk to leave an itinerary and hotel phone numbers with the mayor when she travels for training. So, it's just way old. I'd like to, maybe work on updating it that will, need approval from MMIA after it's approved by you guys, but if that's something you guys are okay with working on, Lacey and I will work together and we'll get going on a new one that's kinda got a little more up to date and revised information in it. If you guys are good with that?
Wouldn't hurt.
110% for it.
Yeah, and we don't need a motion on that, I just wanted to mention it before I just started making changes.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and do that then. Let's make a motion to that effect. We need a motion.
No, I don't need a motion, I just
Okay.
kinda needed a general head nod
Consensus.
that,
Okay.
yeah, that you guys are in favor of updating it, because you'll have to give it final approval, and then MMIA will approve it, and then it will become official, or it's vice versa, maybe they approve it and then you approve it, I'll have to look, I can't remember.
Okay, oh, sounds good. Excuse me, sounds good. The next thing that we have on new business is the flower garden in the park, and I believe Tammy?
Okay, the Frauberg Improvement Committee would like to place a small flower garden in the park. As you first walk into the park, the sidewalk's on the one side, so it'd be kind of a triangular shape right there and what we'd use is the landscaping blocks, the larger ones, so they wasn't easy to remove.
Uh-huh.
And probably go about 3 high, so people could sit on it as a bench. But we need your approval before we can do such a thing.
Do you have an estimate of size?
It's probably about 10 to 12 feet. We're looking at long on the sides. I haven't measured.
Sort of triangle shape?
Yes,
10 feet
yeah.
on the sides?
Yeah,
Okay.
and I haven't
And-
measured the back part, what that equals out. Sorry,
Well,
guys.
if it's triangle, it's 10 feet.
No.
Yeah, 10
It
feet.
doesn't have to be.
Yeah,
No, no.
yeah, about 10 feet.
Okay.
Down in length. It's not overly huge, we didn't wanna make it an intrusion in the park.
Uh-huh.
Just something as you start to enter the park, it adds a little something to it.
And were we doing annuals or perennials?
We're gonna try to do perennials in it.
Okay.
We'll have to, there'll be landscape matting placed underneath the brick, and then we'll haul in dirt to put inside the deal. We're trying to make it as user-friendly for Jay as possible, so we don't have a huge issue.
Okay,
and not be intrusive to the rest of the park, so people can still use it functioning.
are we talking roses, are we talking
No,
4-foot
No,
bushes, or
probably
what are we
more
talking?
like,
Ground cover?
poppies or irises, but we'll make sure that it's far back enough that it's not going to be a visual scene
Mhm.
there. We don't wanna get into that deal, you know, where it's a visual with the deal, but it's more like irises and, poppies and stuff that's all pretty native to Montana or whatever, that's,
What do you need from us?
approval to do it.
I would say a motion and a vote, just because she's putting something onto town
Yeah.
property, that's kind of why I
Yeah.
put it as its own
But you
agenda
don't
item,
need
I
us
felt like that
to
was a good
supply the
idea.
block or anything
No,
like
no,
that?
that's all supplied by us.
Yeah.
We had originally thought to do it by the awning. Was the original thought to kind of add to that awning that we created, but the problem was cost effectiveness. The plastic liners, if we did wood, the plastic liners were $180 a piece.
Yeah,
And then the wood, then you get into will it rot and who's gonna take care of it and dragging a hose, and this way it was more visual.
How are you guys gonna be able to get the sun you need right there with that tree and everything?
We'll
Suppose you
get
didn't
enough
have-
sun with it, because you get that west.
Yeah, I was
you
just
know.
worried like if you need a different spot, but I'm pretty sure you guys probably know more.
No, I
about growing
went,
something than I do, so.
no, I went down and looked, it was a bigger problem putting it by the awning is,
Gotcha.
but, it was just kind of like I said, if you want it located in a different
No,
idea or
that's fine.
something
Yeah, I
like
like
that,
that
I can
idea.
take it back to the committee and we can revamp.
I think it'd be good.
Yeah, I'm all for the park looking better. I make a motion to approve the flower garden in the park.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second to approve the flower garden in the park. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And you said materials are provided by the Bromberg Improvement Committee, is that what you said? Okay, I just want to make sure I got it right.
again, another improvement in the town, I'm jacked about this, thank you very much.
Okay, next one here is resolution 504. Call to election. Do I need to read this?
I think you should.
A resolution requesting a mail ballot election for the town of Fromberg 2021 primary and general elections. Whereas 13-19-202 of the MCA allows the town of Fromberg to request that the election administrator conduct an election by use of mail ballots. And whereas the town of Fromberg may hold a primary election on September 14th, 2021 if needed, and will conduct a general election on November 2nd, 2021. And whereas it appears that a mailbox election will be economical and administratively feasible to conduct, and whereas the town of Fromberg desires the ballots be mailed as close to the last legally required date as possible. Now therefore be it resolved, the town of Fromberg calls for use of mail ballots to conduct the town's primary election, if held on September 14th, 2021, and its general election on November 2nd, 2021, for the following municipal officers' positions: 2 positions for council, each a 4-year term, and 1 position for mayor, a 4-year term. Duly passed and adopted at a regular meeting of Fromberg Town Council on this 8th day of June 2020. This resolution shall become effective immediately upon passage.
So I don't imagine we'll need the primary.
Most
Unless we
likely,
get
but it seems.
A lot more interest than we
Yeah,
have in the past.
I don't recall what the exact requirements of this resolution are, Mackie just sent me over some information, it has to be done. basically to tell them whether you would have a mail or an in-person election. And she said if you're gonna have an in-person election, you better have very strong, and those words were in all caps, reason for doing an in-person rather than a mail ballot. And so I said, I'll just write it as a mail ballot. So that's all it is. It's just giving the elections office direction in the event you need those things. But yeah, the likelihood of one or even both of them are slim.
You still opposed to mail ballots?
Yes, I am, but
You bet.
you've heard of it.
Then you better come up with a very
bet.
strong
Any
reason.
comment
Yeah, we have-
from the,
Actually, typically.
would you like to comment, sir?
Yeah, I'd like to see, show voter ID.
No,
You know, I've carried one for a lot of years. I carried driver's license, all picture ID. I think it's only fair for everybody.
So how do we generate the list of mail ballots?
So that's done by the elections office at Carbon County, and then they verify signatures in order for the vote to count. So it's not an ID, but it is a verifiable
How
signature
did
from
they
when
get
you
your
registered to vote, from when you registered to vote. And
But
I
you
think
don't sign a mail-in ballot.
You do.
Yeah.
You do.
You mark it, you put it in this secrecy envelope, then you put it in a second envelope that you sign.
Yes.
And so they verify your signature, they take out the secrecy envelope, don't look at it, and it goes in the pile. Then someone separate counts it, so that they can't find out exactly how you specifically voted, because the person who verifies your signature is not the same person who sees your ballot later.
Okay.
And I only understand that because I had to ask the question.
I'm just thinking about this
Months
bullshit
ago.
that went
Yeah.
on.
Yeah,
Excuse
I
my French.
understand, I understand.
Nationally.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think it's a little easier for Carbon County to verify than it is
I would
for,
imagine.
LA.
I think they look at it real close anyway.
Yes.
I don't know.
I
Can we?
Why
have a
not?
quick question. These are all mail-in strictly?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I was just wanting clarification, because the school, you can drop them off. That's
Oh.
why I was,
Odds are there's a drop. You can mail them or you can drop them at the elections office in Red Lodge. If you'd like to drive to Red Lodge and hand it to them,
Okay.
you can do that as well.
no, that's just, I was just wanting to know at the school, you can drop them at the school.
That's a school election.
So that's
You
why I
can drop
wanted
them
to
at the
double
school.
check.
Yeah, because then the election judges go to the school and count right there.
Okay.
So
Well, I
that's
have a
actually where I
question.
learned all of that.
Do they send a ballot to every person in the county or only if you're a registered voter?
Registered voters within the city limits of Fromberg, because this is a city limits
They,
election.
they go by zip codes.
And they
Yeah.
make sure you're alive.
No.
Good
Really, these
question.
are all questions for Mackie Boleen at the elections office at Carbon County. She is the one responsible for all of this. The town actually has very little to do with it except this piece of paper right here. Everything else is handled by Mackie. So what I know and what I'm giving you as answers here is just things I've learned throughout my years in having to deal with this process, not just my job, but school committees as well.
And this will only be for elections that just,
For the city.
for
It's
our.
just for the
So
council
when we
members.
do the November thing where we vote for senators and whatever, that'll be a different story.
22.
Yeah, this may, if there are other state elections happening, your Fromberg one may be on the same ballot as that, or maybe separate, I don't know, again, those are questions for Mackie, I don't have the answer to that.
I can help you on the deceased thing, being the postmaster. We have to return any deceased mail, especially, we have to separate out all political mail. And we have to log every piece of political mail that is not delivered and date it, round date it, sign it, and give it back. So every piece is logged, everything is returned, and we have to keep files on that for, depending on what type of election, 6+ years, so.
It's pretty good control.
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
But Mackie's great, if you have more questions, I would definitely give her a call. She'll help you too.
So if there's no more comment
Yeah.
from the gallery, I would make a motion to
Is
approve
there-
the resolution.
Is it gonna be mail-in for if we have a preliminary or the first election?
Oh,
A
primary?
primary,
Yeah,
if they
primary.
would both
Would be.
be mail-in.
Yes.
And then the next one will be a mail-in ballot also?
Correct.
Okay.
Anybody else? I make a motion to approve a resolution 504, call for an election.
I'll second resolution 504.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve resolution number 504. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, resolution number 505. It's a resolution to increase the employee wages for fiscal year 2021 and 2022. Whereas the town council of the town of Fromberg, Montana has decided that all permanent employees should have an increase in pay. Whereas the town of Fromberg desires to authorize a wage increase of 2% of current pay rate. Whereas the town of Fromberg desires to make this pay increase effective July 1st, 2021. Now therefore be it resolved by the town council of the town of Fromberg, Montana, that all permanent employees will have the pay increase listed above added to their current wage starting July 1st, 2021. Duly passed and adopted at a regular meeting of the Fromberg Town Council this 8th day of June 2021. This resolution shall become effective immediately upon passage. Any comments from the council?
I think it's needed to keep a good employee.
Yep.
That's for sure.
I agree.
It's nice when
You
you
get
do
what you
it
pay
as of, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
It's nice when you do it as of July 1st, it makes it really easy on the budget process also. So
Yeah.
if this is something you wanna do annually, this is the best time of year to do it.
Okay. Do we have any comments from the audience?
Is the starting wage gonna be increased as well as giving the existing employees a raise?
Starting,
The starting wage that
I
they're
think
starting
starting-
people out at?
the
They're
starting
gonna get a
wage
boom boom?
is-
We don't have a resolution that actually lines out the department head starting wage. That is something I would like to see these guys put in place so that it's set in black and white what each position starts at. But this resolution would not affect that if we did have one. So it would not increase
for
the
the wages
starting.
that they've got right now.
Only permanent current
2%.
employees will receive this. This won't apply to anybody coming on after July 1st. So someone hired July 2nd wouldn't actually get this raise.
But if they stayed a whole year, then they would.
If you were
next
to do
year-
this again
Oh.
next year, they would get it the following year. So.
Yeah. Any other questions?
I think it's important that we remain competitive in the marketplace. And, it's a good way, like Nate says, to retain good people, which I think we have.
Good.
So I make a motion to approve resolution 505.
And I'll second resolution 505.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve resolution number 505. All in favor?
Aye.
It has been passed.
And supersize your fries.
Perfect. Fast as fast food.
Yes.
What kind of increase are you talking about?
Is
2% of their current wage,
Two
so,
cents, 2 cents for every dollar.
So for employees making $18 an hour, they get a 36-cent increase, and employees making $14 an hour get a 28-cent increase
Okay.
to their hourly rate.
Do we have anything on zoning? Correspondence? Anything from the town attorney?
Not other than tabling the charter, so
Okay.
hopefully he will be here at the next meeting, is
Okay.
his plan, I think.
Public Works Director. Yeah, I want you to kind of fill us in on our street project up there and
Mississippi
Missouri.
or Missouri?
Oh, I was confused. We'll have road mix for that Thursday. It's supposed to show up. Go ahead and get that all graded out and packed in there. And I'll get work on the asphalt planning for repaving that half of it.
So we're gonna have to probably pass the expenditure for the paving, aren't we?
Well, we've already, in the budget, it called for street repairs.
Okay,
And it was $20-some thousand.
You can look at your expenditure budget, it'll tell you what's left.
Yeah.
After
so
any
does
expenses
that mean
come
that,
out.
The money's there if we wanna spend it.
I understand, but does that mean that the council has nothing to say about where we spend that money?
Page 2 of 6.
No. You guys
The
decide you want
expenditure.
to spend it somewhere else, that's.
You,
It's pretty tough to spend it somewhere else when that street's tore up.
right, when you
Well, they didn't have
approve,
much choice, there wasn't much of a street.
when you approve a budget, you approve spending authority for whatever the appropriations are in the third column in for each category. So in road and streets, you initially approved, am I in the right place? Nope, I think I might be in the wrong fund. I might have told you the wrong place, just a second.
That's 23.
Oh, no, I'm right.
Which one do you want?
I don't, yeah. I'm looking at road and street, but I don't think that's the one you and I were looking at, Tim. We were looking at gas tax, no? What were we looking at?
We were looking at road and street.
Well, that's only 3,200.
What, the gas tax or the road and street?
No, the road and street.
For,
But I know
for
what you
the-
and I looked at the other day was not
Is it
3,200.
this the one under gas tax?
Yeah, there's public works, road and street, under gas tax for.
430.
Oh, gas tax, you're right,
Appropriation.
23,633. I apologize, I was looking at special gas tax and that's why I couldn't find the number. So yeah, I'm sorry, page 3 of 6. Top one is gas tax fund 2820. That can only be spent on street repair
Correct.
unless you buy a piece of equipment in which you can spend 25% of the total cost of the equipment out of that fund if it is related to street items, like a backhoe or something.
Have we entertained any companies for bids on paving?
No, we haven't yet. It's gonna, for that up there, because it's so soft, Jay and I discussed it, we needed to tear it out, get something in that hole, because it's soft, and try to get it to where it'll support a vehicle. So we're gonna get heavy material, fill in the hole, level it out, put road base over it, keep the road base smooth for a month, 2 months, through the summer, and pack it down to where we're sure that this is going to hold up, so that when we put the pavement on it,
Doesn't get ruined.
it'll stay there, instead of sinking into a hole. Yes, you have a question?
No, I don't got a question, I just got an idea, and I don't know how much it would actually cost. But I was on a project down in Wyoming. They did 2 miles of, it was paved, okay, and they went in there with a rotomill, tore it all up, and put cement, about 2 inches or 4 inches of cement on top of that, and rotomilled all that in with water, and packed it all down. And you know, we was down there just 2 years ago, and it was about 5 since I was on the project, and that road is just as good as any highway that you can drive on. And they figured they saved $50,000 doing it that way.
Huh.
They rotomilled it and did the cement and packed it down and let it cure, and then put, all they did was use road oil and rock, another coat of road oil, and rock on top of that. And it stayed pretty good. I've been wanting to say something to the county about trying it on these roads that they gotta grade all the time.
Yeah.
Like this road from here to Joliet?
Well, you know, I think if they would put a 35-mile-an-hour speed limit on it, and we had the gendarmes out there to enforce it for a while, that would alleviate a lot of that gosh damn road
Washboard.
rage. Yeah. People wanna drive across there 55, 60 mile an hour, that's gonna tear it up.
Yeah, I agree.
I set the cruise at 35 and away we go.
Well, that might be an option that we could look at.
I
don't know how,
I don't know what the cost of cement is today. but they spread it on there bulk
Yeah.
and then turn it in with water going in with it, and it sets up real good.
I don't know,
I don't know
something
either.
we could look at.
Yeah.
And then you put the pavement over that after it's all,
Yeah, they just put road oil over top of it to begin with, and then put gravel, pea gravel, and then another coat of road oil, and some more pea gravel.
Okay.
CMG is, it's not CMG anymore, and Billings is the one that did that project down there. I was working for them. I'm sure the guy that's superintendent is still there with the new company, and he'd be able to fill you guys in on it a little bit. I know where their shop's at, but I'm sure it's not CMG anymore.
No, it changed to, what is their new name is? I know what their new name is though.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, as far as when comes time to pave it, I think we will bring the estimates in for the council
Okay.
to make you guys aware, and if you guys wanna, like it,
Two or three estimates.
it's like when I went down there and tore it up. It's gonna be a long process to get it to where we can at least get it drivable.
Yeah, I've got one of the people that live on that street's already called me and said that she was a little disappointed that it hasn't been
Fixed already?
fixed already, yeah.
Yep, I know. She called me too. Oh, I know. Has anything else about this for Jay?
Nope, the other thing was that the service for Beekman. Have you talked to Jay about that?
Yes. We're hoping that this week we can get started on that too.
Okay.
Locates were done today.
What's that?
The locates were done
The
today.
locates were done today?
So we're gonna move that
Down closer to the house.
Yep.
onto his property. Because
Well,
I think
have to
he's,
sit
I
right
think
at the edge
he's
of
selling the
his
property.
I think it's sold.
Yeah.
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 But he hasn't seen it yet, but
You had a question? Yes.
Question to ask about those new curb stops that they're putting in down there. What are you gonna do to keep from busting them up?
Which new ones?
Huh?
Which new ones?
Right across the street.
Oh, the bumpers.
Yeah.
Oh. I don't know. I mean,
Are they
if
staked
somebody
down, or
rams
do
into
they
those
move?
damn things, they're gonna break, no
They're-
matter what.
Have
Well,
they got
I-
any stakes in them?
Not yet, they don't.
Well, they need to be done.
But there's,
You're gonna bust up a bunch of them.
cause that one I think up there sits on something uneven.
It's not level.
I think like the asphalt
I
almost
don't
peeled
know, the
up
whole
like it got
thing.
warm.
Broke all the way across.
Yeah,
it.
there's been a
Like
couple
somebody
of them.
run into it or something.
Yeah.
Well, you
Well, they
planning
did.
on drilling and running rebar into those things?
Yeah.
Are you? Okay. Yeah, we probably shouldn't wait too long to do that.
Yeah, that's gonna be that's on his list. We discussed that week.
All right.
well, you already got started making them.
So,
Do what now?
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, well, he started making the stakes.
so we've got some stakes.
Yeah.
Half of them.
Well, on a good note, thanks Jay and you for all the work you guys been doing down there, getting the field ready for this weekend, so appreciate all that.
Yeah.
The ball field looks good. Well, the town's looking good. I mean, it just is. I mean, when you guys do what you do, it just lifts the population right along with it. Everybody's a little bit prouder of the city
Right.
and I mean, look at what we talked about tonight, you know, people doing above and beyond just
Flower stuff.
to
Somebody would give me a new
help,
blade
help
on the
to make our
mower.
little town a little bit nicer.
Well, let's, you guys wanna talk a little bit about your schooling?
With the Great Falls, that
2 weeks ago?
Yeah, I remember when that was. For a week, so.
15th through the 19th of May.
Okay. And? Did you learn anything?
It was a lot to process.
Okay, so you did learn stuff.
Well, soon we should find out whether he passed his,
Okay.
but he didn't even technically have to take the water one yet, but I signed him up for it anyway. So,
I had 3 of them to take.
so we'll see what happens. He might be ahead of the schedule.
Are your math skills good?
Yeah.
I think
I will-
he'll
I
be
can at
fine,
least do
'cause he
that.
already knows all of it anyway.
Well, good. So you'll let us know how the testing went.
Yeah, 'cause it takes, they gotta go to Denver or something, and then they sort them, and then they send them back, and then they send them to here or something.
Is there some certification that comes along with that then?
Yeah,
That
that will
would
be the
be-
certificate.
That's the official
Yeah.
DEQ
Yeah,
certification.
so wastewater certified and drinking water certified.
Cool.
And then
That's pretty
Lacey-
exciting.
Yes, Lacey's gonna be taking some tests with her daughter.
Yeah. I have-
Hopefully here pretty
I don't
soon.
know how many classes I have left with Bobby,
Okay.
but it's not gonna be that hard, I don't think.
Okay, good. Well, thank you guys for
Yeah.
everything you do. Greatly appreciate it. Anybody else have anything for the Public Works Director? Yeah. Town Clerk.
I just wanna remind you guys that 2 council seats and the mayor seat are open and the deadline to file for those is June 21st. It's, the mayor seat, Elsa's seat, and Nate's seat are all the ones open. So,
June 21st.
June 21st is
Wow,
the
it's a
deadline to
blink of an
file.
eye.
And how many you have filed so far?
I did not ask Mackie that question. So everything is handled by her.
Do they have to file in Red Lodge?
Yes, either mail it to Red Lodge so that it's received in Red Lodge prior to that date, or drive it over there and physically give it to them before that date.
What if no one files or whatever?
I don't know, I've never seen that happen, so I don't know, then I don't know what happens.
Something
I
you don't know,
would,
you have to
Yeah.
file and do all that.
I
I wonder if you
I
could put a
think if-
notice out on the board,
Yeah,
What
we
you-
should probably do that.
file for this office, this is what you do.
But if
Yeah,
nobody
the-
files, then we appoint.
I would assume that that's the
Yes.
process it would kick you into, is that you would do an appointment process like you did when there was the vacancy by Shirley's seat of the mayor, so.
Can I save my $15 and you just get appointed?
If we're out of mayor, 2 council, well, let's see.
That's gonna
Nate's
be,
fine.
yeah,
That
but
would be
see,
Have a quorum.
their terms do not expire until December 31st. So
nobody
if
files.
we reach that deadline and no one files, and then we also reach the deadline for a writing candidate to file, after that, you would know it was coming open and you
So
would
by
have
the end of
time to
December,
do
we would
it.
appoint.
That would be my guess, but again, I've never seen it happen, so I've never really looked into the rules on that.
Well, let's hope we have more interest
Yeah,
in our election than what we have in the past few elections.
yeah, definitely, so.
Please.
So yeah, anyone that would like to file, including the ones holding the current seats,